the Morphy Richards REDEFINE 1 cup or 2 cup hot water boiler. Now I might point out that we've already had a few of these units, not the Morphy Richards one. We've worked up in value. We've had the Von Chef. We've also had another make which was virtually double that price, and now this one we're coming up to 3 times the original price. So we thought we'd give this one a try, and just to give you a quick demonstration, it'll either do 1 or 2 cups. Put it in like that, press the button, you select the quantity, bit of trial and error there, whether you want it on auto, whether when it boils it dumps into the cups, or whether you want it to hold the boiling water in the reservoir. You can also set the temperature as well. I don't know if you can see that. So you can start off at 100, 95 and 85, which is alright for coffee and tea. And if I push it, it now starts pumping the water from the reservoir at the bottom there into a tank. You might be able to hear it. After which it starts heating it quite quickly. Bear in mind that the advantages of these units is that you only heat up what you want to use. So there is an energy saving, which is one of the reasons that I got this. Now this is done in real time. We're going to do 2 cups at once here, and you will see when it's ready it will indicate, the auto will start flashing and the water will dump out. Now this is in real time, so we're getting 2 cups here. Now the beauty about this is that you can actually hold it in the reservoir, so you could do cup preparation, press the button first, do your cup preparation and everything else, then put it underneath, and it would hold it in the unit until you were ready, put the cups there, press the button, and it would dump the water out. I'm doing it now so you can see how long it actually takes from pressing the button to actually getting delivery of the boiling hot water. Now it is boiling hot. That is the difference between this type of system and the other ones where it dribbles out and they're really steam driven when they're boiling, but they're not quite boiling. Here we go, and you can see the amount of volume that comes out is fast. Now this is one of the disadvantages of having this, but I'm not happy about. If for instance you decide now that getting a bit low on water, I'll fill it up so that I don't have to wait for the next one. So you decide to, let's get rid of that. Notice the drips right in the way of the handle, and that's boiling water that's coming out of there, which is pretty naughty. So you cannot touch this until afterwards, until after it's completely drained down. A bit naughty really, because you think to yourself, oh yeah, it'll be alright now, put your hand in there and to get it, and if you've got a drip there, it's going to drip on you when you get the machine, when you get the water container out. So that's one thing that I'm not too happy about with it. I pointed out about the display. Let's put that on again. Here we've got auto, as you can see there. By pressing that, you can make it so that the water is taken into the container at the back, is boiled but held there. So that's an advantage, because you can prepare the cups, go and get the milk out of the fridge and God knows what else while it's actually boiling, and then after that, when you come back, you press the button and it will then dump the water into the cups, which is a big advantage. You've got quite a variable quantity there, anything from 150 millilitres, which you can select on the rotary dial there. You'll notice that there's 1 cup there. That means that if you put 1 cup in there, you've got the measurement up to about 300 mils. Before you go higher, when you go higher, of course, that would be beyond the capacity of this cup, so then you would put 2 cups in there. So it's quite simple. So it's infinitely variable, so you can end up going up quantity wise right up 620 millilitres. Now you're getting up to saucepan size, and the maximum that you can go in one go is 1.5 litres, which is a lot of water. If you take that 1.5 litres would be to there. Now that is a big jug, and that is a lot of boiling water that you can get out of this unit. The display is quite concise, so I quite like it. We have it set for 2 cups around about 520. It's a bit of trial and error actually on this, but it's fine. The display is quite bright and it works quite well. So to get the thing working, all I've got to do is to press that button. Now if I set it to 1 cup, so let's set it to 60 for 1 cup. I'm just doing this out of trial. We'll take the auto sign off and I'll press the button. First of all, it takes the water in from the reservoir and it takes it into the container. Now I'm doing this again in real time. It's starting to heat it up, and remember, the advantage of this kind of thing is that you're only using or only heating the amount of water that you're going to use. So you're not throwing away energy, and bear in mind this is one of the hungriest items for power that you're likely to use. Now I've taken the auto off on this, which means that when it's ready, it's going to let me know, then I can decide what to do with it. Here we go, it's saying that it's ready to dispense. Now if I haven't got a cup there, it's not going to dump it out, which is very good. If I'm now ready to have it dispense water, I just press the button and out it comes. Plain and simple, like that. Just wait till it's finished. The other thing that's very good about this that they don't tell you in the videos is that when it needs to descale itself, it will tell you. It'll actually come up in the display, it will say descale, and you descale this exactly the same way that you would do your kettle. So you buy a kettle descaler and you put it in, you run it through the unit, and then after that of course you rinse it out afterwards by dispensing a number of cups of water, and that will then clear it from the system. So it actually tells you when it needs descaling. These lights will go off after a little while and it will go to sleep, in sleep mode. I've tested it in sleep mode with a watt meter. It draws nothing, so you're not drawing anything at all once you actually have the thing go to sleep. It does remember your last setting, so you don't have to keep setting the knob. It will remember your last setting, so you can have 1 or 2 cups. A bit more of a problem if you want 3. There you go, it's gone into sleep mode now. Another feature that I quite like is the tray at the bottom. You can take it out and you can empty out all those drips, but what happens when it fills up, I thought this was quite good. If you look at that, I'm hoping this will come out alright. Can you see that? It comes up with full. Can you see it? You might not be able to see that, I don't know. Comes up with full, so you just get it out and you empty it. Right, a couple of things that I don't like. I told you about the the drip that comes from that, which I don't particularly like. But also the other thing that's not good is check out the water level. And at a quick glance you think it's here. No, it's not. It's there. Because you've got this Brita filter inside it, which I'm not too happy about, to be quite honest, and I might take it out, even though it's I'll pull the handle out. This is how you fill it up. I would suggest that you use a jug to fill that up. But you'll notice that there's an inner level here, an inner layer. The inner layer is what you can see here. It's not the water level. The water level is there. If this would have been made with a gap so that it didn't actually touch this wall here, you wouldn't have this artificial water level on the Brita filter. So it's up to you what you do. You can either keep it or you can take it out. If you take it out, of course, you won't have the problem on the quantity. Brita filters are quite expensive. If it tells you when it needs to be descaled, I don't see why you really need it. If you're going to do it, keep a Brita jug and empty the water from that into it if you want to do it that way. The other thing that's already packed up, and we've only had this unit a week, is this little beastie. It's the monitor for the actual Brita filter, but it's glued in. You can't seem to get it out or anything like that. Oh, it's going to actually, is it going to work, or is the battery gone? It looks like it's gone, but I don't know. But it's not working correctly. Doesn't seem to be working correctly. After a while that'll be gone, so I don't know if it's supposed to shut off or what. But I'm not too keen on the Brita filters personally. The other thing is on the design, when this is filled up to the top, this is quite heavy. It really is. It's quite heavy because it's all the leverage is pulling it away from you. So I would recommend a different method of filling it up. One other point I will raise that I'm not happy about, and if you can see this in the back, there's this hole here, and on the container you've got this here. I think this is a point for failure. All the time you have to keep taking this in and out of the unit to refill it means that this has got to engage every time and make a waterproof seal into that unit there. So every time you get this out to fill it, which is what we will do now, I don't have to open it out too far, here we go, we'll use the jug and we'll fill it up to the maximum mark there. We will then push it back. Now this is where it's starting to engage on that joint. Now, I don't care what it is, every time you keep putting it in and out, in and out, in and out, it's going to wear. And bearing in mind that you're going to have to do this, say, every 4 cups or something, you're going to have to fill it up, otherwise you're not going to have enough for the next one. It gets a little bit annoying, and also I think it will wear that out. Also, you'll notice the water level is actually here, but it's easy to take this as the water level. Here you've got that inner casing on the Brita filter. Not very good at all, but there you go. So I hope that gives you the pluses and minuses. This one we're hoping, as it's 3 times the price that we originally paid for a water boiler kettle, I'm hoping it lasts longer. The others lasted around about a month. We do get through a lot of tea. I don't kid you on that one, but something should last. I got my money back on each one of them. One of them, the Von Chef, I actually had 2. They both failed. The last one that we had was a larger unit, a bigger unit, similar to this in a way, but held 4 litres. That might be a clue without running it down too much. And again, we had to get a refund on that. It lasted about a month. This one, we're about a week in now, so hopefully this is going to last, fingers crossed. Anyway, I hope you haven't been too bored by my demonstration. Tend to try and tell it how it is, and fingers crossed. So as I say, the minus is the water dripping out of there, which is still boiling hot, and it still came out there, and you're going to get that container out to refill it. You could have boiling hot water dropping on you. You can still see it's still there, and that's after about 5 minutes. The water level indicator, you're looking at the water level through this perspex here, and of course you've got the inner Brita filter inside here, and that's what you at quick glance would take as being the level, and it's not. So that's one thing I'm not happy about. They could have finished the actual casing just a little bit back, and then you would have had a proper indication of the water level, which you haven't got with that inner filter. The Brita filter idea, personally I think I'm going to remove that. I've paid out 20 quid for a load of filters, and to be honest with you, I'd rather have them in a jug, so that if I wanted a filter system I could do it. We've got a filter system in this anyway, so really do I need it? And the other advantage of course is that you've got on the scale there, it will tell you when it wants to be descaled. One other advantage of this type is that you set the quantity that goes in the cup. On occasions, on the other ones that we've had, the Von Chef and also the 4 litre one as well, one of the problems that you have is that if you get a phone call or you get disturbed or whatever while you're pouring water, it all keeps coming out until the container is either empty or you go back and switch the switch off. Not ideal, whereas this will only dump out the amount of water that you've requested. So advantages on both systems, whatever suits you, but this one's 3 times the price, so we'll see if it lasts 3 times as long. All the best.